New Curtis Connor video. I tried solving a 20-year-old Digimon card mystery. Check it out.
These are so rare that pictures of them don't even exist on the internet.
I think people understand how hard these are to find. The scarcity of these things is just nuts.
These pictures do not exist.
The hunt for Series 6.
Okay, folks. Like most YouTubers, I am a loser. Dude, every YouTuber I know is a massive nerd. And don't get me wrong, I love it. That's great. But it does take an absolute geek to set up a camera and be like, here's what I think. I am absolutely a nerd.
Kinda.
Video games, movies, anime, I eat that shit up, dude. Especially growing up, I would be like so hyper fixated on things that I like physically could not think about anything else. And the internet tells me that that means I'm neurodivergent. But I never read those books. Seemed like a Hunger Games ripoff to me. Case in point, there was a good 2 years where all I did after school was come home and play a computer game called The Movies. A game where you owned a movie studio and you hired actors and you made movies. Straight up, didn't do anything else, man. I would make short little movies and I'd upload them to the movies website version of YouTube that they had, and I made really good friends on the movies forum. It was the lamest thing I've ever done. I know way too much about High School Musical 2. I've beaten Ocarina of Time 100 times in my life. And I've spent so much money on trading cards that I could not afford when I was a child. And you're probably thinking, well, he must be talking about Pokemon cards, right? That's not that bad. Those are super popular even to this day. And, one might even say that they're a wise investment if you're smart about it. And although I have spent a fair amount of money on those, the ones I spend the most money on are vintage Digimon.
That's kind of sick, though.
For some reason, I know it's stupid. I'm aware of that, but they're just so fascinating to me. Real quick, if you aren't familiar with Digimon, it's like Pokemon, but instead of how Pokemon is pocket monsters,
Digital
Digimon
monsters.
are digital monsters. There's a bunch of toys and cards and stuff, and the anime follows a group of children trying to save the digital world with their adorable little monsters. The Digimon company, to me, in the early 2000s is so interesting because it was constantly compared to Pokemon for obviously reasons. They both ended with Mon. But for those of you who don't know, Digimon was not created to compete with Pokemon at all. It was originally created by Bandai to be the more masculine counterpart to their insanely successful digital pet toys, Tamagotchi. So Digimon was pretty much created to be the Tamagotchi for boys, which did very well. Because trust me, every single boy wanted a Tamagotchi. But the thing is, if you were a boy with a Tamagotchi in the early 2000s, your friends would call you gay. Trust me. So
I don't know about that. I wanted a Tamagotchi when I was younger.
To be a competitor to Pokemon.
I think my friends thought it was
came out
pretty
at
cool.
a pretty unfortunate time. Pokemon Red and Green released in Japan in early 1996 by Nintendo, and the Digimon Virtual Pet device released in 1997. Pokemon Anime originally aired in Japan in 1997 and then North America in 1998, as well as the Game Boy games. While the Digimon anime aired in Japan and North America in late 1999. And although Pokemon was only on the scene for a year before Digimon showed up, Pokemon had completely consumed the lives of every single child in North America. I hate to sound like a boomer here, but I do feel bad for the people who didn't get to experience Pokemon from 98 to 2002. That's what I think heroin feels like. All of us kids would just meet outside, sit on the fucking green box, play Pokemon Red and Blue, Gold and Silver, and we would just play all fucking day.
I remember Pokemon cards were very popular in my school, and around that in the early 2000s, we would all bring our Pokemon cards in and show them off.
Dude, and there'd always be that one kid from a few streets over that wasn't really your friend, and he'd be like, I literally have a level 100 Mewtwo. And you'd be like, okay, Kenny, shut the fuck up. Nobody even liked you before you told us that. So Digimon definitely had an uphill battle in terms of relevance when they came to North America. But I think the reason Digimon was able to garner the level of success that they did was because of the anime, which was just objectively better than the Pokemon anime. Pokemon felt like
I always thought the Digimon anime was cooler than the Pokemon
your
one.
friend, but Digimon
it was this. It was slightly cooler than Pokemon was.
Felt like your friend's older brother, who wore ripped jeans and could ollie really high, And for a rebellious little boy like me, I became obsessed with Digimon. I made my parents buy me a Digivice that I would jerk off. No, I'd shake. You had to shake them. I saw the Digimon movie in theaters. My stepdad spent hours helping me set up this online D-Power
Oh,
fighting
God.
game on our Windows 95 computer. And 1 year for my birthday, I got a Series 1 Digibattle starter deck. One of these things right here. Dude, I remember ripping this thing open, fucking throwing away the instructions. It's a card game. I never played the game. It was far too confusing for me. But all I do remember is just flipping through each card, admiring the artwork, and just moving
Oh,
the
that's a
holographic
throwback.
ones
I
back
had
and
some of
forth
those.
for like hours, dude. And the reason vintage Digimon cards are so fascinating to me is because with Pokemon cards, more or less, it's been the same game since its creation. Like, it's been the Pokemon trading card game.
Right.
But Digimon went through so many different card games.
They have
as
a
were
new one that
trying to
just came
compete
out.
with behemoths like Pokemon
Like a year or
and
two
Yu-Gi-Oh.
2 years
so if
ago.
I may, I'd like to go through a brief history of Digimon card games. Come along. Okay, settle down, everybody. Kenny, shut the fuck up. Nobody likes you, man. Alright, welcome to Digimon History 101. I don't have one of those pointers that teachers have, so I went in my backyard and got a stick.
Nice.
So, Kenny, if you keep talking, wow, fucking kill you. So the first set to be released were the Digimon Trading Cards Animated Series Edition, right there. These came out in 1999, and if you saw my trading card video from 2 years ago, you know all about this. These cards featured characters from the show, and the main draw of this set was the fact that there were 100 gold numbered variants of each card.
Are these were these playable cards or were they just collectible? Because I don't really see any like. I don't really see much to do with them.
That
Or
were
maybe there is.
randomly inserted into these boxes, and they were extremely difficult to pull. I've personally opened like 20 boxes of these myself, and even got scammed one time.
That looks like it's resealed. Is that what that means right
Oh
But now
no!
I'm the proud owner of 2 of these gold
Oh,
cards,
sick.
Okay, so suck it, class. You know, shortly after that came the set that was directly trying to compete with the Pokemon trading card game, and that was the Digibattle card game that we touched on briefly a few minutes ago. This game was released in the year 2000, and the rules were extremely confusing, especially to a dumb little boy like me. So unfortunately, these cards ended up just sitting in shoe boxes for years, collecting dust for a lot of kids. Well, not collecting dust for the kids. Kids only want one thing. Dust. But there is a lot more I want to touch on with Digibattle later on, so we'll circle back to that, okay? So Digibattle didn't really catch on, so in 2001 they were like, fuck it, let's do the Digimon Detector card game. These cards actually tied into the big money maker of Digimon, the Digimon Virtual Pets, or Digivice. From my recollection, you could like scan the code on the card with your little Digivice, and you could like have that card as a pet, which is pretty cool.
That's
That
cool,
didn't
yeah.
work either. So 2002, they introduced the Digimon Collectible Card Game. And this was
Another
Digimon's
one?
direct response to Yu-Gi-Oh's explosion in popularity. Because they pretty much saw how the Yu-Gi-Oh game worked and copied it exactly. Oh, you like that stuff? Well, how about more of the same? I've actually opened one of these, and I actually ended up pulling a pretty cool holographic Omnimon.
Ooh, Omnimon.
Suck it, boys and girls. That one didn't really catch on, so they did Digimon D-Cyber, and then Digimon Fusion. And then the most recent game that was released in 2020, Digimon Card Game.
Yeah, this is the new one.
Which has actually seen a lot of success over the past few years. It only took them fucking 20 years, so good job, guys. You see what I mean? So many different card games, dude. An insane amount. And it's so interesting to me that over the years, especially in the early 2000s, the Digimon company was just throwing everything at the wall and just praying to God that something would stick. I have one. And the reason I like learning and reading about these old Digimon cards, it's like, to me, it's a glimpse back to a simpler time. I am a painfully nostalgic person. I always have been. Literally every other TikTok I get on my For You page is some nostalgia core slideshow of old foods and toys from my childhood with some fucking synth wave bullshit playing on in the background. And I know in my head that I do not want to go back and be a child again, obviously. That would suck. But there is a tiny part of me that wants to just experience the way that I felt about the world and the future as a child, you know, once more. I feel like owning these sealed products is a way for me to do that. Like, there's air in those boxes that have not been contaminated by whatever bullshit's going on right now. And that's my cheesy, long-winded explanation to explain why I waste my money on bullshit.
There's
Now that we're done with
nostalgia,
our history lesson, and you all know the rough timeline, I think it's time for show and tell. Okay,
Okay, you remember when I said that we're gonna go back to Digibattle? Well, we're gonna go back to Digibattle, okay? Something really interesting happened with Digibattle by the end of its life cycle. They were only printing these cards for about a year before they transitioned into the Detector card game.
Oh,
But in
really? It was
total,
only
there
a
were
year?
6 series of Digibattle cards, and each series featured different cards that you could pull. The first 2 series were produced by Upper Deck, and I don't mean pooping in the top part of the toilet. They were a company mostly known for their production of sports cards, and their contract with Bandai, the company who owned Digimon, ended after Series 2. So Bandai ended up taking over the entire production for Series 3 through 6, giving the Digimon cards a whole new, revamped, improved look.
I think Series 1 and 2 looks a lot better. I think it, yeah. I don't know why. I don't know what it is about it that makes it look better, but yeah.
With each series having 3 separate colorways. And although there were booster boxes containing 36 packs for Series 1 and 2, these ones right here, as well as singular packs, Series 3 through 6 were only released as blisters. One singular pack encased in some plastic
That's
attached to
kinda
some
whack.
cardboard. Like this. So due to the fact that packs are so difficult to find in abundance, and also the fact that the holy grail of Digibattle cards, the holographic War Greymon from Series 3, this guy
Ooh, and he owns
is
one.
only attainable by opening a Series 3 blister pack. The price of the packs from Series 3 to 6 can get pretty gnarly. Series 1 and 2 blisters can be found relatively easy online because they just made so many of them while they were producing the booster boxes. But once they
40 bucks
realized people
a
weren't
pack.
buying as much Digibattle cards as they initially expected, the production slowed down significantly. And because of the scarcity of these products, Series 3 through 6 are the ones that collectors in the Digibattle community are usually searching for. And although the Digibattle community is relatively small compared to Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh!, they're just as, if not more, passionate about these cards. The brief interactions I've had with people in the Digibattle community have all been so positive and educational and supportive. Like, people are just stoked on these old pieces of cardboard, and they're stoked that other people are stoked. And when we talk about sealed blisters from Series 3 through 6, there is one in particular that is sought after the most by the community, and that is
6?
Series 6. And that black square is not an editing mistake. I can't put a photo on screen to show you Series 6 because
There
there's
are no
hentai
photos?
on the front.
Oh, okay.
I can't show you a
I was about
picture
to
of
say.
Series 6 because these are so rare that pictures of them don't even exist on the internet. We know it exists because of like records, and people have the cards.
How is that
from
possible?
Series 6. Out of the past 20 years, nobody thought to just take a picture of them and post them somewhere. And look, over the years, I've been lucky enough to get blisters from Series 1 through 5, but it keeps me up at night knowing that I've never even seen a photo from Series 6, dude. So, in
How
this
is that even
video,
possible? That's crazy.
I want to try my best to see if I can find just a picture. That's all I want. I just want to find a picture because someone, somewhere on the internet has one, right? They have to. And I want
Right,
to find
yeah,
it,
surely.
okay? So, come along.
Okay, so I figured I'd start with a Google search and see what pops up. So obviously nothing on images. There are like individual cards from Series 6 that come up, but no actual blister or pack art or anything. But I know the oldest trick in the book, and that is to add Reddit after your search. Okay, this is what comes up on Reddit. Looking for Digibattle Series 6. Me too. Okay, who would know something about these cards?
It was originally created by Bandai.
True. Probably the company who made them. Okay, so after a little bit of internet sleuthing, I found a contact page on Bandai's website for media/content creators registration. And I am a content creator. I'm creating content right now. So no one can tell me I'm not allowed to send them a message. Hello, my name is Kurtis Connor, and I am currently making a video about the old Digimon Digibattle card game from 2000. More specifically, I am making a video centered around the Series 6 blister pack released at the end of Digibattle's production. I know this is a long shot because this came out more than 20 years ago, but if any pictures of this blister pack exist somewhere, it would be great if you could send them my way. Thanks in advance. All right, now we wait for the response.
The prophecy is true.
Okay, yeah, maybe we could do something else while we wait. How about while we wait for their response, we do a little bit of research. So I found out the original artist for Digimon is named Kenji Watanabe. He did a lot of the original artwork for Digimon, and I thought about trying to reach out to contact him, but I doubt he had anything to do with like how the packaging looked.
Yeah.
Like companies have like whole departments for that stuff. Also, I doubt he would have photos of one specific piece of merchandise that was only available for a few months, like 20 years ago. Like, there's no way, right? Like, even the footage I have from my last video is deleted. It's gone forever. As an artist, you're not organized, right? Fucking, I don't know, dude. What if there's like toy companies like Toys R Us? Oh, well, they don't really exist anymore, right? All right. So there was a real problem plaguing my quest. There really isn't a large amount of information about Digibattle on the internet. Honestly, one of the only places you can learn about Digibattle is on Wikipedia. I went over there to see if I missed anything in the one paragraph that is on that page. And after looking closely, turns out I did miss something. And it's the one thing that everybody misses when they use Wikipedia. The sources. Thanks to Wikipedia doing the one thing I always forgot to do in high school, which is cite your sources, we may have something that could prove useful. Every single piece of information on this Wikipedia page, they all cite the exact same source. And that source is Miller John Jackson, 2003. Scry Collectible Card Game, Checklist and Price Guide. Second edition, page 115 to 119. Okay, perfect. It's a book from 2003. So I unfortunately leave for Australia next week. So I don't think I have time to like find this book online and order it and pray to God that it gets delivered before I leave. So it's a good thing I ordered it weeks ago.
Hey, let's go.
I also use like the sketchiest website I've ever been on to get this book. I don't know why. I haven't actually opened it up in anticipation for this video, but my assumption is if there's enough information about Digibattle in this book to write an entire Wikipedia page about it, then it must have like photos of everything, right?
Surely.
I fucking really hope so. So let's take a look at it.
Story time. All right, so we got the book here. Hopefully the video ends here. The front is promising, right? There's like, look, all these pictures here of all the different cards that are on it. So I feel like
Harry
there
Potter
has to
trading
be,
card
right?
game.
Accurate pricing from the industry leader. Complete info for Magic, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! And more than 130 games. Complete info. Description and analysis for more than 550 CCG releases. John Jackson Miller and Joyce Greenold. Her name was on the Wikipedia. That's fucked up. So what page did they say? 115 or some bullshit? Okay, so right here we got Digibattle. So it is in here. Okay.
Series 6.
Digibattle, also known as Digimon. Dude, it's just fucking words. Series 6. And what may wind up being the last set for Digibattle. Has a great boost in Series 6. So I guess this book just lists prices of these cards, which is fascinating to see now. I'm gonna bring this book to the next like card show that I go to. First edition Charizard, $20. Oh, what, that Charizard is thousands of dollars? Well, it says right here that it's 20 bucks. Well, that was a waste of money. I went on the dark web to get this book for nothing.
All right. At this point, several days had passed and I had 0 leads. Hey, Kurtis, what about that email that you sent to Bandai? That's a good question. Unfortunately, I never received a response from them, but honestly, no hate towards them. They're a multi-million-dollar company. You know, they probably don't have the time to help out with my little YouTube video. I understand that. I also forgot to press the send button. So that also might have played a factor in them not responding to me.
Maybe.
But who knows? And I honestly didn't know what to do next, but then I remembered what I said earlier in this video.
And although the Digibattle community is relatively small compared to Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh!, they're just as, if not more, passionate about these cards.
Yeah, if anybody was going to have a picture of a Series 6 blister, it was going to be somebody in the community. Somebody, at some point in the last 20 years, has taken a photo of these and has it somewhere. They have to. So I started searching far and wide on Instagram, looking up hashtags and finding people's fascinating collections that they've gathered over the years. And there's one dude in particular that I've been following for a while. His name is DigiSchnitzel, and his collection is insanely impressive. And if there was going to be anybody in the world who knew anything about these blisters, it was going to be him. And as I was looking through his posts and his stories, this popped up.
Series 6.
Yeah, a fucking picture of a Series 6 blister, dude. And not only that, the next story slide, another colorway of a Series 6 blister. And then the next slide, a pack from the third colorway of a Series 6 blister.
Shit.
Dude, I've spent years thinking that pictures of these things just didn't exist anywhere. And this dude just fucking threw pics of not one, but all 3 of them up on his story one day, all
kinda casually,
willy-nilly
yeah,
style.
yeah.
So obviously I freaked out and I reached out to him immediately to see if he could explain these photos. And thankfully he agreed. So let's get to the bottom of this, okay? Hello, Eric.
Hello, hello.
How's it going?
Not bad, yourself?
Pretty good, pretty good. Just wanted to hop here, ask you some questions because I feel like you are in the from what I've seen anyway, in the Digibattle world, I feel like you have a lot of knowledge.
Yeah, I'm in there pretty deep, that's for sure.
So how long have you been like collecting?
Between 2 and 3 years now. So
Oh,
far.
pretty.
So around like COVID probably, or like
Yeah.
what draws you towards that versus like Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh?
For one, Pokemon was kind of too late. Like the prices are just out of my budget for sure. Yu-Gi-Oh! I never really had, I mainly had Pokemon as a kid and Digimon. So I never really had Yu-Gi-Oh! So I didn't want to go too in depth with that. But Digimon, since I had it as a kid and the more I started collecting it, the more I figured out how hard these are to actually find. I think people understand how hard these are to find. Like the amount of hours you got to put in and talking with people and getting to know people. And
I've learned a lot about Digibattle just from your posts, like your content, and you definitely have a pretty impressive collection, especially of like sealed stuff, which is crazy. If you have a crazy story about how you like acquired some of these rare packs.
Yeah, I like a challenge, so finding sealed is always
Impossible.
and I mean, I think I might be the only one that has the collection so far of series 3, 4, 5 sealed
Of all of the colorways.
That's
so
pretty cool.
This is series 4. Series 4 is the hardest one to find, probably out of series 3, 4, 5. And this one I was just trying to get some penny sleeves and stuff like that at a local card store, and I asked, hey, do you have any vintage Digibattle? And they're like, no, we got nothing of that, only the new stuff. And I just saw at the top of the shelf, just like collecting dust. You could barely tell what it was because it was literally sitting up there for years.
That's
So
hilarious.
see that? And he says, yeah. So he brings it down, and obviously I knew what it was, but I've never seen, I've never even seen a picture of it. So I was like, I don't even know if this is legit or not, but it looks to be legit. He's trying to find a price on it, and he's looking on eBay. There's obviously none on eBay, so he's like, well, $40. I was like, okay. So
$40.
My best find so far was definitely that.
Also, the other thing with the scarcity of these packs, the first time I ever saw a Series 6 one was from your store. I was like, it was so crazy.
Yeah.
I was like writing this video about how like no one's ever seen it. I was like, these pictures do not exist. And then I look at your story and I'm like, what? Okay, this dude just has photos of every single color.
Yeah.
Do you want to describe like where those pictures came from?
Yeah, so those came from a couple different people. So a guy in the States that I had bought some packs from, he said he had a friend who used to buy all the Digibattle packs when he was a kid with his dad. He used to open them all the time. So those pictures, as you can see, they're old, but they literally show the first Series 6 pack that I think a lot of people have seen. Like just finding those pictures was insanely hard. You know, I had to go to a friend of a friend of a friend. So it was like,
yeah, that's ridiculous.
The scarcity of these things is just nuts, honestly.
So there you have it, I guess. What started out as an impossible task actually came together pretty easily. All I had to do was mindlessly scroll through Instagram stories. So the next time your parents tell you to put the phone down, you show them this video.
Okay.
Amazing things can happen when you scroll. Oh, yeah. So we finally have pictures of Series 6 blisters. And you might be asking yourself, if we have the pictures, why is Kurtis still talking? And that's a good question. As I was making this video, a Series 6 blister went up for sale on eBay,
sick.
Which is crazy because I'm pretty sure that's never happened before. And of course, it happens while I'm making the video of this item that has never been up for sale. So now we have a super high quality picture of a Series 6 blister, which is even better. And look, I was monitoring this auction very closely. It ended up selling for more than what I would ever be comfortable paying for it. It's just comforting to know that they are out there, they exist, and I'm just hoping that one day the stars align and I'll be able to get my hands on one day to finally complete my collection. And oh, wait.
Oh, is he the one that bought it?
Yeah, I got it, dude. I fucking got it. I won. I told you it sold for a price that I'd never be comfortable paying for it. Doesn't mean I didn't do it. So that means I am now one of the few people in the world who has not an entire collection because of the different colorways and stuff, but I now have a blister from series 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Nice.
So suck it, class. I am never opening these, ever. They are going into
Of
storage
course.
somewhere far away from me, so I am never even tempted to open them. Because I think in 20, 40 years' time, it's going to be cool to look at these, you know, as like a even crazier look to the past. But before we wrap this video up, of course, I had to show DigiSchnitzel, the newest addition to my collection. I did some research, and I tracked down the person who actually won the auction.
Okay.
What would you like say to this person, like who actually got it?
I mean, congrats. I'd say congrats, 'cause it's a pretty crazy thing.
Mhm.
And whoever won it is kind of king right now because nobody else really has one.
Well, I do have a surprise.
Okay.
I did it.
Yeah, I should have guessed that. That's for sure.
But yeah, dude, I wanted to obviously thank you for everything that you do for the community and whatnot, and like just
Hey.
being so like helpful with everything. And like anytime I had a question or like anything you wanted to like clear up, you know, you were super cool.
I wonder if this guy got any followers
Yeah,
from
that's
that.
no
What was this
problem, man.
guy's
That's why I'm here.
handle?
Fuck, I hope you guys enjoyed.
So like helpful with everything. And like anytime I had a
DigiSchnitzel.
question or like
It was at
anything you
200
wanted
at the
to, like,
time. Let's see
clear
what it's
up,
at
you know,
now.
you were super cool, so I appreciate it.
That's no problem, man. That's why I'm here.
Well, fuck, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know this one was a lot different than my usual video.
I went up to
Hope it was entertaining
1600
at
now?
least.
Okay.
I had a lot of fun
Not
making
bad.
this, although it was probably the most expensive video I've ever made. I'll be honest, I did not think I was going to be able to find a picture of these, let alone have one in my possession.
Whoever won it is kind of king right now.
I also just can't believe the timing of everything. It's so weird. First the Instagram story pictures, then the eBay auction that has literally never happened before. It's almost like there's a little monster inside of my computer sort of orchestrating all of these things. I can't imagine what it feels like to be someone who worked for Bandai in like the early 2000s when you couldn't even pay people to buy Digibattle packs. And then fast forward 20 plus years later, people fighting tooth and nail and paying a stupid amount of money just to have one of them. It's crazy. But yeah, in other unrelated news, I'll probably be selling some of my other cards and stuff to make up for an unnamed purchase that I just made, so be on the lookout on eBay, I guess, for those.
Kind of king right now.
Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, and you want to see more videos like this, I don't even know what this would be, but press the like button, you know, let me know, leave a comment, press subscribe button, because as soon as you subscribe, you become a valued citizen of Kurtis Town. And if you didn't know, Kurtis Town is the best place to live in the whole world, and I'm the mayor, so you have to be nice to me. It's literally the law. Okay, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I would stick around, but unfortunately, I have to go call my bank and apologize. See ya.
Dude, trading card games are so cool,
That
man.
means I'm
Like, I'm kind of low key into them. I'm not, obviously I don't have as much money as some of these other collectors, but I got a little collection growing. But that's sick though.